Yeah. Boo, 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 boo. It's Matt on the road trying to get back because he had to go get a monitor from Best Buy before they closed.
Yeah, so for those of you guys who are just joining in right now, having no context, we didn't play like an intro or anything whatsoever. Mad seems to be calling us in from Howard Stern show back in 1992, and then there's a puppet here, and then there's a second black guy on this side over here. So this is going to be your show tonight. Hope you guys are happy.
No,
What's up, y'all?
I'm on my way home. I'll be there in like 5 minutes. I just wanted to get it going.
Oh, wow. We are live. Hello.
Yeah, no, this is actually this is rolling apparently. So,
Nope.
All right.
We're making great radio here right off the bat. So yeah, Scott will never allow us to run this channel ever again after tonight.
That's a safe bet.
lose.
So,
Well-
Mark, what's new with you, Mark?
Everything, nothing. I've been getting told off on YouTube all day, and I'm having a ball with it. You know, this whole Idris Elba thing. Who thought that it would be the lightning rod that it is?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's I can see the anger that's been heading in your direction for Idris Elba claiming that he doesn't want to be known as a black actor, he just wants to be known as an actor. Some people are like, how dare he? It's like he just denounced his whole race, even though that's not what he did at all.
No, not at all. And he actually came out to clarify that. You know, I noticed there's been a couple of articles where he took to Twitter to say, hey, look, I'm proud to be a black man. What I'm saying is that being a black actor or announcing yourself or defining yourself exclusively as a black actor can be limiting. And of course, that's true. Now, I took it a little bit further and said, well, limiting yourself as a black person in today's context can also be limiting. Now, we all know that the way the world defines us, we all know the way we were brought up. Of course, we're black people and everything. But the point that I was making in my video is that black means different things to different people. To some people, that's actually not a good thing. Let's keep it real about that. So in your heart, you have to be able to define yourself outside of whatever it is society says, whether you're black, whether you're anything else. It behooves you to know who you are as a human being first, so that you can navigate all of the negativity in this world that's going to be directed at you through preconceived notions.
I mean, I don't even disagree with that, but the problem is that I'm pretty sure you've gotten a lot of comments from these people today, is that there's a lot of people out there that put black in the beginning of their entire identity. So when they hear anyone else say that, why I don't make my primary identity that I'm a black man in whether it's America or England, because we're not even talking about a guy here from the U.S., but whenever someone says that publicly, their immediate reaction is, oh, you're denouncing your blackness outright. And then that's the way that they hear it, and that's the way they start attacking them and anyone else who sees it that way.
You know what it is? I think they're hearing that you or I want to be white. I think that's what it is. They're so insecure that any challenge that you give to them personally regarding their racial identity has to be seen as something, like it's white. It just can't be, I'm being a good human. And what they don't realize is they're telling on each other, because what they're saying is that humanity is at its core white, like you're some type of deformity.
Oh, I think it's on two fronts, because we see this on Twitter all the time, and I don't care if it's like the white nationalists on social media or the pro-blacks on social media. You have these people who are bickering on two sides every day, whether it's white identity or black identity. It just gets to a point where isn't it just exhausting at one point to be this person 24 hours a day? And whenever there's a slight hit of pullback from there, it's like they just completely lose their mind, because they can't get out of this blacks versus white cultural war that's going on in their minds, just in rotation 24 hours a day.
Absolutely. And this is the I dare say the age of CRT, where everybody is pushing back or pushing for victimhood, or I'm not your oppressor, but I am a victim, I'm owed something and everything. It's like, if we can't move off of that, then this is what we're going to gift to our children. Even worse. That's why I always have a sense of urgency about it, because look, man, I mean, I hate to be dismal about this, but shit, we're all going to be dead far too soon.
Yeah.
So our shot to change this shit is now. So why would you just fall asleep and not even address it, or talk about it or ponder it? Our time will be up soon, and it's going to be the burden of the next generation to have to deal with that. And you see the number that they're doing on the kids in school now, so
it's not great.
So you can only imagine what the next generation is going to have to deal with in terms of all of this racial bullshit. You know what I mean? It's so important that we be human beings, because you see how people are drawing the lines like right down the middle, where they want to carve everybody up, whether it's sexuality, whether it's racial, whether it's religion. It means a whole hell of a lot to somebody that we just don't come together as a human race.
Yep. And you saw this too. I was one of the first ones to cover the whole Proud Family thing. I think we'll get to that one here in a second. But it was funny because I watched Eric July cover his thoughts on the whole thing, and he brought up something that I didn't even think about until like once he said it. It's like, in the context of the show, these are like 10-year-olds like doing like spoken word poems about how we were slaves, and I just always like think to myself, it's like, weren't you born during like the age of TRL? Like what age of like black oppression have you lived through at your age? Your life that you become essentially like this Malcolm X militant on the front lines. It's like, what are we doing here with a lot of this stuff? But as you see what's coming out of companies like Disney and other mega corporations, is that they're trying to instill these values into kids as early as possible, whether it's BLM or CRT or LGBTQ, whatever the case may be. This is why you gotta watch now more than ever a lot of the stuff that's being put into your kids, because they coming at you at all angles right now.
And I'm just just disappointed that people still like mint chocolate.
Yeah, who likes green chocolate? Like, who
it's disgusting.
Never liked that.
Weirdo eats that shit.
Yeah,
it's like pumpkin spice. It's like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, pumpkin spice. I mean, that's just like pumpkin pie in a cup. But like,
it sucks.
That's like, if you're into like putting Satan into your life, I mean, it's weird.
Yeah. But you know what? You have to respect people who might like that shit. You know what I mean? See, this is what we're talking about. It's, when I get on Twitter, I usually just take a bird's eye. Like, I don't go into people's threads to be arguing, but I just see a lot of people are just arguing about the most like pettiest shit now. Everyone is going back and forth at each other. I mean, it's just going downhill fast. Twitter has never been like wholesome anything for anybody. But just looking at the way it's trending lately, it's like everybody's arguing, man. Everybody is,
I mean, for me, it's like, once you understand the game of divide and conquer, and you see how they try to divide and conquer you, whether it's through race, whether it's through gender, sexuality, and all this nonsense, once you become wise to that game, it very rarely has an effect on you, which tends to anger a lot of people who are still caught up in that mindset of divide and conquer. But it's like, I can see how you guys are using this whole situation to get us to fight each other, when in reality, we probably should be fighting you to begin with. So I'm pretty sure Matt is finally getting back on his real computer, so he doesn't sound like he's talking from 1992.
That would be nice. Yeah. The problem is that it's in schools, Like, I was just talking about that last week, how I'm actively taking my son out of public school, trying to, put him in private school and everything. And it's just so predominant, what you see, like the mindset. They really want people to play these roles, and I'm not interested in being a victim. I'm not interested in teaching my son to be a victim in 2023. It's like that whole slaves built this country would have flown much better back in 1972 or something like that. You know what I mean? But
maybe during the Watts riots, that probably would have worked out a little better. But not in 2023. Like, can we stop, please?
Yeah, we overcame a lot, So to be saying slaves built this country, so what are we proud to be slaves? You know what I mean? Like, I understand we were people who were enslaved in this country, and in this country we overcame that as a country.
So, question: are either one of you descendants of slaves? Actually,
I mean, my father's African, so I highly doubt it. But
all right,
yeah, I would have to believe that I own slaves. There were some black people in America that owned slaves. I think that I descended from those. Yeah, that's more than likely.
Because that's the thing. It's like, even if I mean, you weren't a slave. I mean, there's still like the whole racist element that you had to overcome. So why can't we just have like this whole identity of like being overcomers?
I almost do want to, like, in a twisted way, just start running like DNA tests on black people to see if they were ever like descendants from slaves in the first place, just to come to that realization that you weren't, and now you can just shut up forever. Because there's two things that you note, especially with that Proud Family bit that they did, and it always comes back to this with society. It's entitlement and narcissism, right? So one of the arguments that they were saying in that bit was that, well, we deserve reparations for the suffering of our ancestors, meaning that, well, we were the descendants of slaves, so we should be owed something just based on that, even though that, we have no connection to the people who died 150 years ago that were marching forward in the streets to begin with. And I'm just thinking to myself, really, is that what you truly believe? Now, I'm pretty sure the writer's room and the people behind the scenes truly believe that, but is that the direction that we're trying to push people now, that we're owed something based on something that happened 200 years back, even though you were born in like 1995?
Yeah.
I made it back, guys.
Welcome.
You sound
back,
human,
man.
Weird.
Yeah,
got that bass in your voice. Sounded all good, my brother.
Yeah, sorry about that. When Scott asked me right before 7. I'm like, yeah, I guess I can do that. Yeah, and then Best Buy's like, hey, your monitor's ready to be picked up. I'm like, this is gonna be fun.
It's like, do I pick it up now and screw over Scott after I just said that I was gonna get it?
Well, I think I did okay. I think I got everything done. You guys held it down talking about race, which is always a popular thing to talk about on.
Yeah, I think
it's a hot thing.
Oh, I think we should start talking about COVID and vaccines right now.
I want to make one more point. If we're going to move away from this, I want to make one more point about the reparation thing. All right. I understand that there have been other groups that have been paid reparations for what they've gone through and all that stuff. It was a concept that probably should have been enacted a long time ago with the people who were directly affected by that, for sure. 40 acres and a mule and all of that. But for the people who are looking for a check right now, let me just remind you of something. Black people are probably the number one consumers in this country. We consume. That's what we do. And when we do consume, we almost never consume in Black-owned businesses. All right. So what you would essentially be doing is taking that so-called check that you want and taking it over to Macy's. All right. So honestly, I fail to see what a check as reparations would do for the Black community at this point. We would spend it on clothes, jewelry, hair weave, stuff like that.
So what you're saying is all that money would go to China.
Pretty much. And the Koreans. Yeah.
You remember the Dave Chappelle skit where everybody got reparations?
Yeah. And then like Nike became like the number one corporation in the world overnight.
Yeah. The richest man was some dude from a street. If I got his name, like Lil Pookie, I don't remember. But
who bought the baby straight cash?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Well, all right. Our first topic is Idris Elba rejects identity politics.
Yeah,
I guess looked at the topics for the first time.
There you go. Got a little bit of a head start on you there, my man.
No, I appreciate it though. Well, I don't. Scott does.
But one more thing about the Proud Family thing that did piss me off too was when they were also stating that America still has not atoned for the sins of slavery. I'm just sitting here listening to these people say this unironically, thinking to myself, so what you're saying, Les, is that the millions of people who died during the Civil War, they didn't do enough to atone for their sins. All the fighting and all of the what's the best way to describe it? All of the people who stood up during the Civil Rights era, the guys who fought in the front lines against Jim Crow, against segregation and all these things that we lived through in the 50s and the 60s and even going back to like the 40s and stuff like that. What you're telling me is that they didn't do enough to atone for their sins. So here we are, 160 years later, and you guys still haven't done enough in 2022. You guys need to do more. Like that in of itself is a very insulting statement to make, unironically.
I agree. I think there's this need to want to just keep telling white people off, and that's something that really, really frustrates me because I see, a lot of, just speaking freely, I see a lot of Black people, they gloss right over talking to one another in the so-called community. They don't want to talk to each other, but you damn sure want to tell white people off every time you get a chance. So that's what I was thinking the whole time I watched that thing with the Proud Family, because even though they were trying to act like it was about Black pride, slaves built this country. But if you listen to the whole thing, they were in the face of white people. You and you and you and you. But they never talked about love for themselves. You know what I mean?
Nope.
There was no message there for young Black children.
You know what? It's actually very funny you mentioned that, because one of the lesser known propaganda pieces from that episode that kind of went under the radar because everyone was focused on that part. There was another episode in that season where I guess one of the white girls was dating like a Black kid who didn't date white women.
Yeah.
So all of her Black friends shamed her into breaking up with him because they found it offensive that he didn't date Black women, that he only dated white women. So she basically had to break up with her boyfriend because he didn't want to, I guess, be with all of her other friends. And so what I found out what they were doing there was that, keep in mind, I'm pretty sure there's mostly Black female writing room in here that wrote this episode, is that because they're so upset about Black guys who date white women that instead of attacking the Black man, they're now trying to attack the white woman and shame them into breaking up with Black men who don't date other Black women. So,
well, you know who started a lot of that? In modern times, because that's been around for a long time. Oh, yeah. But who resurrected it was Beyonce when she talked about Becky with the good hair.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? That took off because Queen Bey, if she says it, then everybody has to pick it up. Overrated, might I add? She is. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Don't you know that
come from me, huh?
Don't you know that Beyonce now has the most Grammy awards out of anyone in history? She's now an icon now. Don't you guys realize that?
I'll say this: the state of our music industry, doesn't it?
I can't name a single song that she has done as a solo artist.
I'll be honest with you. I stopped listening to Beyonce in 2006. Like that was about 16 years ago, somewhere around that time. So
yeah, I'm just. I mean, I can't say whether or not she's overrated because I don't listen to her enough to know.
Yeah, she did. What was it? Crazy in Love a long time ago.
Nope.
Was it Break My Soul? I think the new one.
Yeah,
it
seems like Beyonce has been kind of like the flag bearer for all of these female empowered songs you've heard over the last 20 years. Like even go back to the 90s when it was Independent Woman and Pay My Bills and all that other stuff, and now it's I can upgrade you. So now you have all these women listening to Beyonce thinking that I can upgrade my man anytime I want if he's not doing what I want to do, and now you're just 40 and childless, and it's sucks to be you, bro.
Consumer culture.
Fuck around to find out.
Hey, Andy.
That is so true.
Yeah, so I guess we're done with that. I like Idris Elba though. Stringer Bell, man.
Yeah,
he's good. He's good.
I mean, I like him as an actor. Now, if he does less, going to the World Economic Forum, being their puppet, I might like him a little bit more. But that's a different conversation for a different day.
Can I ask this one question though about him? Is it one note? He feels like he's a one note actor. He's really good in that one kind of vein, but he's never really left it.
Nah, I mean,
I don't know.
I wouldn't call him exactly one note because I've seen him do well in both action and drama setting. So I mean, he does have a little bit of range to him.
Okay. I've only ever seen him in action, so
I think I don't know. He always seems to be kind of the same stoic character.
Yeah,
really,
I mean, he's got his
funny guy.
I guess it depends on how long you've been watching him. Have you been watching him as long as maybe The Wire? You've probably seen
Stringer Bell. That's what I said. Stringer Bell, man. That was his character name in The Wire.
I only saw him in Thor, and then after that,
well, there you go.
he's got a good enough presence. He was in this Western last year, The Harder They Fall, and he was playing the bad guy. And if you get a chance, if you like Westerns, if you like that genre, that's one that went under the radar. It's worth looking at. But ironically, because it was perceived as a Black Western, I think that a lot of people kind of was like, okay, well, it's just for that particular crowd, so that could be informing part of what he's talking about right there, because that was a good, solid Western, a great entry into the genre. But I do believe it went under the radar just because of that.
Hey, can somebody ban from the channel that Resin Fluilla?
He's on Twitch, so good luck with that one.
Oh,
I
that's
want
on
a promotion
Twitch.
of your channel. Viewers, followers, chat, bots. Hey, it's good for the algorithm. So I say let them go.
Everyone on YouTube is like, who?
Okay, that makes sense then. He's very
just for the algorithm. That's what I say.
all right. Well,
and Hunch the dirty roofer.
Oh, real quick before we move on to our next topic, another good Idris Elba movie. Now, I do not recommend a lot of Netflix stuff because most of it is trash, but there was a movie he did a couple of years back called Concrete Cowboy, which is actually a pretty good film and a pretty strong film about black cowboys in North Philadelphia. It is essentially a story of him trying to like raise his son the right way and getting him off, the streets by kind of like integrating him more with like the community and the people. So it's a very underrated movie. Not too many people have talked about it, but I do recommend it if you guys haven't seen it.
Yeah.
right.
And Michael Quaid, I do agree. Idris doesn't need to be playing James Bond. James Bond is a white British guy. But the thing about it is, I don't think he would. If I'm reading him right, if I'm reading his personality right and his character as a man, I don't believe he would even want to do that. So
well, yeah, because the fundamental reason why he would get that role is because he is black.
Yeah.
Because they want to front load, hey, it's the first black actor to ever play James Bond, and that's all you'll be hearing about for the next few years before the movie even comes out.
I mean, America did it right when they did Never Too Young to Die. They got John Stamos in that young James Bond role and Gene Simmons as the transgender villain. These are real things.
Always just a transgender villain in general.
Well, they used a different term back then when they referred to him.
Oh, transvestite.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. Yeah, because John Stamos wins when he bites his tit. It's a whole thing. Don't worry about it. You had to see the movie.
Right.
We covered it on Movies with Matt if you want to look at it on my channel. Next story up. We're going to be talking about the Wired review of Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, so I'm as far as like how Harry Potter and the whole universe goes, I'm completely out of the loop with this. I haven't seen a single Harry Potter film in my life. I don't really have much interest to, but because the trans community are like so heavily against this video game in all shape and form that they're actually creating lists, like hit lists against streamers who are deciding to play this game just so they can come after them. Like that's how crazy and insane these people have become. I've now started to like trying to figure out like what the hell all this Harry Potter stuff is. So any of you nerds in the chat can explain to me the point of the Harry Potter houses, because I do want to start like game banging Harry Potter here soon, but I just need to figure out which set I need to claim. So if you guys can help me out with that, I appreciate it.
To piggyback on that, I as well. Maybe it's because we're black and black adjacent that we're not into Harry Potter. Who knows? I've never seen one of the movies. I've never read any of the books.
Yeah.
I was forced into taking one of those quizzes to find out what my school would be and my wand. No, it was Andrew's birthday. It was Caffeinated Wolf's birthday, and that's what he wanted to do. He wanted everybody to. It was a Harry Potter party. It was ridiculous. Anyway, I don't remember any of it. But Mark, are you a Harry Potter fan?
No, but a Harry Potter party does sound kind of kinky. Is what I'm thinking?
Because you're in the clay, or
is everybody playing with their wands?
Yeah.
What's going on?
From a complete outsider's perspective, what I've been told from people who I've asked this question to is that Gryffindor, I guess, is like the good guy house, and Slytherin is like the bad guy house. And then Ravenclaw is like, I guess, for like the film nerds, and then Hufflepuff, it's just like for borderline autistic people. So I think that's pretty much a strong indication of the Harry Potter universe in a nutshell. Is that correct?
Let's
that
see
would
if
be
Floral.
like the based version, I guess. You can go to like, what is it, Wizarding something? I don't know. Wilton, the troll, he did it the other night.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm very normie, but Gryffindor, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm just glad in the game people can actually run, because every friggin' trailer, everything I saw before the game came out was people walking, and that just drove me nuts. Going slow. I hate walking in video games.
I hate not having the option to walk. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I just want to walk into a room with my character as like a badass. Yeah, but I don't want to jog in there. What are the pins?
Get the game done. Like, if there's like a sneak you need to do or something, but no.
I don't know who I'm supposed to mute.
I take it you're one of the autistic Hufflepuff people.
Oh
Me?
yeah, he's a Hufflepuff.
Or him?
No, Boost. Yeah, see, poor Hufflepuff.
I mean,
Who's
no one
leading?
said that it's not true so far. So I mean,
Well,
Oh,
I
well.
don't know. They're like the boring people, the weird people.
Yeah.
Not necessarily autistic.
and then like Slytherin is supposed to be like the bad guy group. So
Well,
it's like people who think that they're cool go to that
That's
club. It's
very like not accurate because like some of the best guys are Slytherin in Harry Potter, like the best good guys. So it's more about
Right.
character.
So
Like,
they're
are you,
gray Jedi equivalent.
maybe.
But you know what? We
Which
gotta
one has
like
the purple
bring. We gotta
lightsaber?
rewind this thing. Why are people mad anyway? Why? What are
Oh,
people pissed off for?
I got you. I
I
got
don't
you. So,
understand.
Or Tolkien. What's her name? Rowling, whatever.
They probably hate Tolkien too, but that's a
Yeah, that's
true.
tradition.
That's true.
Yeah, so essentially, the trans community are still upset that J.K. Rowling does not believe that women and men should share spaces, especially in sports and like bathrooms and stuff like that. Thinking we should be separated by gender, and because that's not, I guess, a trans ally opinion to have. That now they hate her and want her canceled in any metric they possibly can.
Yep.
But they can't because she owns the property and has too much money. So now they want you to not play the
now,
video game to be an ally.
does she make money
Jesus
from
Christ.
every ticket sale over at the Universal Studios or whatever? Absolutely. Does he make money from the Lego shit? Yes, he makes money everywhere. However, this allows them to be able to protest and scream from their couch, so they don't have to leave their house. That's why it's an easier target for them. Plus, you got game journos who basically think they can do whatever they want since the whole comic, the CG shit. So this is another opportunity for them to flex their influence.
My
And
favorite part is how
here
they
we are.
waste $200 to smash the disc and rip up the paperwork from like that collector's edition. Like I think that's wonderful. They still gave her the money and
Yeah.
then trashed her and then
My brother.
yeah. Hey, drunk.
Yeah, Jay in the
3PO,
chat.
The man, the legend, my brother.
So really, I love that none of us have any idea about Harry Potter, really. So we can't talk about it, but we can talk.
I mean, I clearly have a great understanding of Harry Potter. I don't know what anyone in the chat's talking about.
Well, I think everyone that likes Harry Potter is actually in Hufflepuff.
Oh, wow, that's sad. Yeah.
I get that though. I get that. But we can talk
So
about.
it's just because she told the truth, basically.
Yes.
Men are men, women are
Yeah.
women. Well, and they can't handle it. Some people can't handle it. I know I've had trans people in my comment section who said they don't even buy into all of this crap.
Mm-hmm.
It's exploitation is what it is.
Yeah. That's it.
And whoever, they're not speaking for all of them.
Nope. But so the Wired magazine has a review. I guess none of y'all seen it. I was like, wow, I don't have to show it because who doesn't know about it? Huh? Well, we can do it then. They had an amazing review. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. There is no magic in Hogwarts Legacy.
I appreciate that you have night mode on.
Oh man, I will shame someone if they're sharing something that's not in dark mode. They're animals. And the game is mid at best, and its real world harms are impossible to ignore. So the rating is 1 out of 10.
Oh yeah, don't you know
game.
that playing a
Damn.
video game it kills people?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw a tweet the other day, yesterday I think, that said there's actual people that have died because this game has been played.
Yeah. So what you're seeing is the opposite side of the spectrum of the Christians back in the 90s who were telling you not to play the first Mortal Kombat game because it endorses violence. Now we've completely gone all the way to the other side to, if you play Harry Potter game, you're literally killing trans people.
Or were they right and it's just you got the slippery slope?
Yeah. There you go too.
Well, it's like that skit that one dude did with the racist and the work person or whatever. They have the same opinions and they meet.
Yeah.
Because it goes all the way back around. It's kind of the same thing, yeah. I mean, because they are a non-theistic religion.
Same tactics, different team. That's pretty much all it is.
So, all right, the Wired magazine or whatever. Oh, it's not a magazine; it's a website now.
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
Nice.
A complete failure in every way. Sad, really. Serious flaws, downsides outweigh upsides. Recommended with reservations. Oh, sorry. This is a description of what it would be. So a complete failure in every way. The positives, it helped me say goodbye to the setting for good. Tired. Okay. The story is...
So this person probably played like 10 minutes of the video game just so they
I doubt they even played it.
No, they didn't.
They didn't play any of it.
No, they watched someone else stream it and didn't like their choices, and thus the game's bad.
The story is rooted in anti-Semitic tropes. The gameplay feels dated. The graphics feel like they're a couple generations behind. All the characters are one-dimensional. It doesn't stay true to the established lore. Oh, now they have a problem with the established lore? Every character feels like an off-brand version of the characters we know and love. There's no sense of place, no magic, no heart.
I mean, that's probably true, but...
I wish Cassie was here for this one because I know she's played way more of this game than I have. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, as someone from the outside looking in, I don't even know if this was even true to begin with. So,
like, if you can't list pros and cons, then I'm calling bullshit. Because usually when they break down these things, games, consoles, or whatever, they're going to give you the upsides, they're going to give you the downsides, what could appeal to people, as well as the things that would turn you off. Now, if you're just going to have a review that's just full of the crap, then that says to me you were on some type of mission to begin with.
And Biggles, I'm not sure if Biggles is correct here if he says that the writer of this only talks about sex toys. This is their first video game review. Coming to the fact that this is for a Wired review, I mean, I totally believe that to be true.
Because I was just going to say, like, yeah, this is an article about the game, but it's on Wired. So do you really take it seriously whatsoever?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this now that this is really proving that you can't really trust them anyways, because obviously they let their politics dictate the way that they review. So basically, this person's like, when I was a kid, it was so amazing. I got this tattoo. It's so great, or whatever. I don't know. I'm not really gonna read it. And then basically, the whole thing is just. It was the first one that felt me. Well, hold on. I remember when the first book came out, the gangly boy on the cover illustration, the school book art. Oh, the school book fair. Oh, what a loser.
So instead of talking about the actual video game, we now hear a story about this person's life.
Yep. I liked it, but that was that. It was the third book, The Prisoner of Azkaban, that wrapped his world around me and drew me in. It was the first one that felt dangerous to me.
Is this a romance novel?
Watching these characters I knew contend with adult-level peril, I felt seen.
It embraced me and made me feel love, and I was like, oh, yeah.
In Harry,
I love you, Harry.
in Harry, I saw my own rough childhood reflected. Oh, she was trapped under the stairs, I guess. I don't know. I shared his frustration with the adult world and that tight knot of anger he couldn't really understand boiling away in his chest. And Ron,
Get to the point.
I'm not reading the rest of it. You're right. I'm not. I'm not reading that. Voided press about. Yeah. So now we're getting to the game pretty far in.
After the unauthorized biography by that writer, now we get to the actual video game portion of the review.
I love this. I thought I'd spend a lot of time in this section nitpicking. Cool. Going over every grievance I have with how this game deviates from the source material. Oh my God, it's amazing. How dated it looks and feels and how it blah, 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 blah.
My question is, has this person even played Skyrim? Like,
as someone who's written many reviews over the years, I noticed that there's a lot of I me my's in this article. You typically want to reserve your I me my's to maybe like the first paragraph of the story, because no one really cares about your perspective or your life story when they come in to read a review about whether a video game is good or not.
Whoa. Dude, this is their truth. So they need to share their story. Their story Jacob, matters.
You could learn something here, because they're not just giving you a review. They're giving you an experience. They are painting a picture with their words, encapsulating what it is to play this game through their eyes.
It's this is a growth experience.
Yeah. There's a hole where this game's heart should be. You can't see it at
there's
first.
a hole, all right.
You have to really feel around his edges. Stop looking for what is there and start noticing what isn't.
Edges.
The story, besides being rooted in anti-Semitism.
Yeah, that
Why
hasn't been
do you
explained
keep
by
seeing-
anyone.
I'm sorry. What? It's like, wait, how did we get here?
Okay, well, here we go. In parentheses here, we got a global cabal, quote unquote, is trying to end slavery, but that's bad because the slaves like being slaves.
But what
Sure.
does that have
That's
to
all
do
the
with
context
Jews?
we need. Yeah, man.
Look,
Even this.
So some of you guys snitch on yourselves because no one was gonna bring up the Jews in that context until you put it out there. Like, just
Oh, yeah,
because
it's-
stories about a global cabal doesn't immediately mean that. Oh yeah, you're talking about Jewish people. Like, wait, what?
They're just
It's
trying
the
to get
same
everybody
as-
going with this one.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same as when they're like, "Oh my God, the orcs are black coated." What?
Yeah. Who suddenly made the orcs black? Or who made that connection?
Right?
Well, here's the question: do you have to spend is there in-game currency in Harry Potter?
Is there
You're asking the
crypto in
three
Harry
of
Potter?
us.
Yeah, I know. I'm asking the chat actually. So yeah, there's more people here than just you. Just so you know. All right. So they matter.
Yeah, you freaking narcissist.
Wow.
Yeah. See, chat. I see you. I care. From
Well,
the
I don't
heart
because
of
I'm
the
on a
bottom.
different tab with the article.
You know what? You just got a second monitor, you lazy bum.
Oh, you think
So-
I've had time to open the box, put it up, make sure like
Yeah, you
wire to
could.
wire?
You could. You could do it while you're talking.
Oh my, security.
Lazy bum. Yeesh.
We're about to have
Must be a
a
vet expecting handouts on.
The Time Prophet, you made the comment a long time ago, but yes, The Warriors, that's the shit. I love that movie. All right, I just happened to see you mention that. So, yeah, a little irrelevant, but there it is.
All right, so I'm gonna try to get through this because I don't.
That's another thing I hate about progressive writers. They just love to go on and on and on and
Yes.
on and on. Like, we don't need 4,000 words to figure out whether this is a good game or not.
Wait a minute.
Oh, this is another good one too. So in the yawning emptiness at the heart of Hogwarts Legacy, I see the quiet solidarity of queer people and our allies in game development. The people who just said no when the job offer came their way. The one who didn't answer the email from Portkey Games. The one who politely let their coworkers know that working on a Harry Potter game would be harmful to the trans community. The one who listened and said, "Okay, yeah, thanks for letting me know." The people who put their morals and their loved ones above an easy paycheck.
They're just taking it personally, man.
Now
Review the
you
damn
guys
game.
understand why these people got put in lockers 30 years ago. This is why we should have never stopped bullying in the first place.
Yes. Time Prophet, I didn't ignore your jokes. Sometimes I didn't see because I got children and a wife, okay? And my wife messages me and lets me know if someone's awake. So, in your face. All right? Sorry. Just had
Wow,
to
this
defend my
person
honor.
lives in Portland. What a shocker.
Right? All right. So Jayana Gray is a product writer and reviewer at Wired, covering
That picture's
coffee,
not flattering.
covering coffee, sex tech, and gaming.
So you're not a real
It's a
writer.
combination.
Yeah. You know
Looks
what
like
that
a
Coffee,
Orca.
sex tech, and gaming.
Is this
Jesus,
Shamu?
What is going on with the world?
Like, look at that color scheme. And why did they screw up their camera?
Oh man.
And where's
Yeah,
the
so-
neck?
It's like all
It's
of
there,
her
it's there.
personalities in
There's a
one
couple
picture.
there.
There's a neck, a couple necks.
Like, yeah, what?
All right.
What,
All
she
right, well.
swallow something? Oof.
Yeah.
So here's the question: is this game the Last Jedi of Harry Potter? Dividing the fan base. Some people love it. Some people hate it.
Well,
No.
the problem is that The Last Jedi was a movie that came out first before everyone started bitching about
Right.
it. They were bitching about this before the game even came out, just because it was
Okay, I was just trying to give a modicum of like whatever, but
No, but listen, I think it is more akin to CG, what happened with CG, because this isn't being divided on a level of quality is being divided on a level of cuckoo banananess. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it does.
Believe it or
Because
not.
these people, it's not even about dividing a fan base, because these people are not fans. The ones who are doing all of this crap, they're disruptors. And I've covered that a few times on my channel as well. Just people who are just proud to just mess with what's there.
yeah.
Dude who plays the Black Elf in Rings of Power, he was saying that's what he's in it for. He's in it to be a disruptor. Is what he's always done. This just gave him an opportunity to do it more.
There's also a sense of masochism to it, where they want to be oppressed. They need people to hate, and that's a part of what drives the whole thing. Is because they want to be on the outside.
Yeah, if you've made oppression a part of your entire identity, or if not your entire identity, then why would you ever want to not be oppressed?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, it's like when you finish reading a book and the book's done and it's never coming back. So it's like, okay, what do I do with my life now?
Yes.
I'm not going to read this because of some of the words, but there is. So they did add a transgender character at the very last minute when this shit was getting heated. All right, it had a completely different voice actor, but they changed it real quick to make it. It's not even, you wouldn't even know if you didn't know that was that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they thought that, if we give him a trans character, then maybe they'll shut up, and then that clearly didn't work, which tells you that you probably shouldn't have done it in the first place.
Which is exactly what
just let them melt down.
You give them an inch, and they'll try and take a mile, and they're never satisfied. So,
nope.
That's what I'm saying. They're not there to be satisfied. They're there to disrupt. They're there to destroy.
I mean, look what happened when we gave women the right to vote. It's been downhill ever since. You give them that inch.
So true.
Fucking A, man. Fucking A.
There's a reason why there's certain countries that just stone them at the first sight.
Oh man! Talk about playing.
All I'm saying is that maybe the Rock people had a point. That's all I'm saying.
The Rock people
probably plays better than Harry Potter too.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of women these days who are realizing that they've been flim-flammed with this whole feminism thing. You hear some of them talking now, and it's just like, wait a minute, we just gave up our rights to be coveted, to be protected, and that's what they fell for, unfortunately. So their daughters are all mixed up, and it's terrible, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look, if you're gonna be a sucker, then you can't be complaining about the repercussions of being one. So okay.
Abomination AJ says, because in a world of magic, if you could change your gender, why not change your voice as well? I wouldn't know anything about changing your voice at all.
Right? It's like, if you live in the world where magic exists, why don't you just actually turn into a woman, instead of just being like a happy abomination of one.
Yeah.
Well, moving on. Unless you got something, Mark.
Well, I was just going to throw out there's this story about this woman who found out that her daughter was being assisted in transitioning by the school without giving knowledge to the parents. This is where we're going. And that's not the only story that's out there that's like that. There's another one as well. So, you really have to watch what's going on with the kids. The agenda is real and it's in full swing. So,
not only that, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. Have you seen a lot of these elementary school classrooms now? There's just nothing but just drenched in pride flags all around. It's I don't know what else they possibly can learn in those classrooms. It's I don't see that. It doesn't look like the type of classroom where you're learning math and reading and history or anything like that now. It's they're just shoving activism down your kid's throat now.
I think
that's the reason why the AP course got blocked in Florida initially, because they tried to jam all of that shit in there under the guise of Black history, and unfortunately, once again, Black people got weaponized to go running out into the streets yelling about something they didn't even understand, but it's not in their best interest. So you always got to watch that.
I think people that are on the critical side of this issue, which would be us here, not just us, but in general. I think what happens is when they see these things happening, they automatically start talking about how there's an agenda from some unknown force, or they're all working together under something, and it's really not. They all come from the same ideological starting point. So when you say the media is after you, or the media is by, that they're all working together, this, that, and this thing over here is all connected. It's not. It looks that way because they all have the same foundation in their beliefs or their ideals. And
what I feel like is that whenever these people get caught doing red-handed, doing exactly what you accuse them of doing, they always try to make it seem like, oh no, you're the crazy one here. It's like,
for looking at it, yeah.
All these conservatives think that we're just grooming all their kids, as if we haven't seen endless hours of video and photos and people with their own words saying that, yeah, we're trying to transition kids without the knowledge and the consent of their parents, and they're trying to make it seem like, oh, this is nothing that's actually going on, because on their side, this stuff isn't being covered on like the CNNs and the MSNBCs and the New York Times. So they just think that, well, where are all these stories coming from? We're not hearing them because they're not being reported for a reason.
Yep. Well, let's move on to more important matters. This couple was charged over $4,000 for coffee, forcing them to cancel the trip. It was Starbucks.
Yeah, but I mean, it was his tips. So.
Well, I'm curious. Because I'm like, I don't know if I buy this off the. I want to see some details here.
Yeah, I mean, $45,000 for coffee. I mean, is Starbucks now the new term for like human trafficking? Because it seems like that's a lot for a latte.
It's Starbucks Gate.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
They ordered whipped cream on their. Wow, can't even think of a single one.
Are we using the Epstein Island menu here for a lot of these things? Like, what's going on?
Let's find out. One Oklahoma couple got the Java jolt of their lives. Fucking New York Post. Come on, man. When they ordered 2 cups of Joe at one of the chain's Tulsa outlets and wound up being charged $4,500, basically.
Can we be honest, though, from the outset? They're from Oklahoma, so, I mean.
It's not great.
No. Jesse Odell said his bank account got ground down. Got ground down after he made his usual coffee runs. Yeah, I know. Fucking New York Post. On January 7th, ordering an iced Americano for his wife and a venti caramel frappuccino for himself, which added up to about $10. Does it? That seems...
See, what happened was that he ordered a frappuccino, but he didn't realize the frappuccino had a brick of cocaine in it, so that kind of got the price of,
inside a balloon. Yeah.
The father of 4 didn't realize what had happened, so he didn't immediately check his receipt. Wait, what? Oh, okay. But his wife, Dee Dee, later noticed that the 4-digit charge had been made for the drinks when she went to use her credit card at a mall, and it got declined. The couple said they soon contacted the company for help, and Starbucks officials sent them checks to make up for the lost cash, but the checks bounced. Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
First of all, I need to ask this question real quick. How did they leave the Starbucks and not know they were charged $45,000? Like, don't you sit there and they give you like the price before you even hand them like their card or anything?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. So obviously you're using a machine, right? So because you guys got the little debit machines too. It's not just like up here in Canada. You guys got those things, and so you have the tip option. So you either clicked 4. Or he clicked nothing, and it was like glitch. Well, but like there's no way.
If it's a drive-through, though, it would be on the receipt. You get handed the receipt, and then it will have underneath the price. It will have tip, and then you would put it there. So it depends if they went through the drive-through or if they were inside.
But the only reason why I say that is because like someone in the chat said it could have been the employee that did that, and that's not possible because you put in the tip amount. So.
That's usually how it works. And then it's like, and then they'll tell you, that'll be $45,000. And it'll be like, oh, hey, can you get some napkins too? It's like, were you just that oblivious?
Can I tap that?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wait, gratuity? That's not...
That's a tip. That's the thing. Yeah. It's all a tip.
So I thought gratuity was when a tip is in... No matter what, like you go to a nice restaurant, they have a gratuity of 15%, which is charged automatically.
It's like if your gratuity is $40,000, like can I come back at non-peak hours?
Well, and that's where, like here, I mean, again, I don't know what it's like down there, but you have the option. You got the percent, dollar, and whatever. So if he typed 4, right? And then the button stuck, because it's all 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So did the button get
here
stuck,
it is.
Or what happened?
Yeah, I found it. Here it is. He goes, I know how to press buttons. I didn't press that button. He told McClackey News in a phone interview, if it wasn't the barista, then it's definitely your network, which is a really big issue. The couple had filed a complaint with the Tulsa police, but the case was later closed when the good checks were delivered.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Like, we've seen a lot of videos on the internet of people acting a fool at, food establishment places over very minor stuff. Like, oh, you forgot to take the pickles off my sandwich and now we're going to fight. Things like that. If you were charged $4,500 on your ticket for a cup of coffee, I think that's a justifiable reason to act a fool at a Starbucks, right?
I don't know. The pickles is
I'm jumping over the counter. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I nailed his accent without ever having seen him.
Yes, you did, my man.
It's easy.
All right.
Can I just address a question there from Time Prophet? He said that he's looking at the mark on my nose and wondering if I wear glasses. The mark on my nose it's a mole. I was born with that. So if that's the one you're talking about right there, yeah. So
you was claiming you got a disability as well.
It's a mole, man. I'm proud of it. It's no disability. When I was younger, I thought I was a tough guy.
Model.
Yeah,
you said the disabled nose model.
Cindy Crawford beauty mark there, you bigot.
This nose has got some stories to tell. Let me tell you. But no, when I was young and thought I was a tough guy, I always used to say, "This is the period at the end of your life sentence." I used to say that.
No, you did not.
I know.
Wait, hold on. No, run that by me again.
Can you say it to me? Like
yeah, run it again. Hold on.
I want to hear how it goes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like, I called your mom fat, and you're now going to respond.
You see this mole right here? Mm-hmm. This is going to be the period at the end of your life sentence. Keep fucking around. Yeah.
Dude, that's just a mole. It's like
Also, sentence that has multiple meanings, you're not using it correctly.
Shabak, mole.
I tried, all right? I tried. I got a deformity, okay?
Oh, that's good. That was a deformity.
hey, that's a tax write-off, that means. There you go.
Oh, shit. That's great.
You can get, like, the handicap parking spaces.
There you go.
Hey, there you go.
Look on the bright side.
Exactly.
I have no room to talk. Our intro and outro for Movies with Matt is pretty crazy. I tell all my kittens to buckle up because they're going on a ride. And then we end it with, yeah. We end it with, if you're not being beamed up, you're being beamed down. And if you can't be savory, be delicious.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone has their thing.
To be delicious, the girlfriend and I watched Kings of Comedy the other night, and it inspired it.
Good one.
Oh, so good. Theo Hughley, not so much. But man, you forget how good Steve Harvey was.
Yeah, he was raw, man. And rest in peace to
Bernie Mac.
Brother Bernie Mac. Yeah,
and Cedric. I think Cedric dead too, isn't he?
He's on that show, The Neighbors.
Oh, that's right. I don't watch that.
Me neither. I see the commercials. I'm like, pass.
Have you guys started watching Mayor of Kingstown yet?
No.
You guys need to check it out because we've been talking about it on the Wednesday show. Dude, it's an amazing show. It has Jeremy Renner in it and all that. Everyone I've told to watch.
Not anymore.
Man, you don't know that yet?
Dude, bro.
Too soon.
He can come back. I'm sure he'll hop right back to it.
Oh, yeah. No. Guys, y'all need to check it out, man. It's by that Taylor Sheridan guy that everybody loves. The one behind...
pretty much all the good TV shows on television right now.
This is another one of his, and it's better than all of them. I have gotten
what I'm hearing a lot about
messages from people saying... I was going to say, I've gotten so many messages from people saying, thank you so much, dude. This show is legit. So just give me a chance. That's all I'm saying.
I got to look that up because, I mean, like I said, it seems like there's some good things out there. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Tulsa King.
Yeah, this one's better.
Stallone. It's better than that.
Yes. I started watching Tulsa King. I got 2 episodes in. I'm like, yeah, I get it. But this one is more raw. You're not going to have a lot. It does a great job of being a serious thing, but there's levity, not as in the, I'm a fish. Oh, hell, I'm in Oklahoma. What's the cell phone? I've been in prison for 35 years. It's not fish out of water humor at all. and is well acted, well scripted, and not a lot of women. I mean, I rewatched the first season. I just fast forward whenever they were on screen. I saw it the first time. Anyway.
Well, look, I've been praising Taylor Sheridan for quite some time now.
Yeah.
Back when he was writing like Sicario and Hell or High
Hell
Water, and what was the other one? I think it was like Wind River, which is the first one he did with Jeremy Renner. So I'm glad that people are finally starting to catch up.
So also, by the way, Antoine Fuqua, who's one of my favorites, he is a producer on the show as well.
Is that how you say his name?
Pretty sure, yeah.
All right.
Isn't it Antoine Fuqua?
He's a producer. I'm not sure.
What? No, he directed.
No, yeah.
He directed Fury with Brad Pitt, the World War II movie. He directed End of Watch, which was one of my favorite movies ever. He directed. He directed Training Day. He directed everything. Equalizer.
He's been pretty hit and miss with me over the last couple of years because like there's been like a few good things that he's done, like The Guilty I really liked. The Magnificent Seven was pretty good, but then you have things like Infinite and Equalizer 2 and even Bullet Train I didn't even care too much for as well.
Bro,
so.
oh, see, that's just you though. But Infinite, bro, that movie is crazy. I can't believe they did this and thought it was a good idea.
Yo, that movie was trash.
They canceled Batwoman, but they left this shit up.
Oh my God, that's saying a lot.
Yep.
I'm so far behind with my movie watching, TV watching, everything. Go figure. Parenting is just taking over my entire life.
Amen. Yep.
Yeah. He's probably watching dirtier stuff than I am, and I'm always like, I don't want him to be in here. I don't want him to hear this stuff. But he's.
Well, like I said, you gotta watch these television companies now. I can't let the TV raise your kids either.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But Bluey is awesome.
Which one?
What?
Bluey.
Bluey.
The little
Is that
Australian
that
dog.
Australian?
Yeah. That's a wonderful show. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never
No, seriously.
heard
Like
of
how
it.
you said that on a first name basis, like we were gonna figure out.
No, seriously,
Right?
it's actually great. you guys, you would love it. If you're a parent, like, it's actually really good. It's hilarious for parents.
Yeah, Australian Australian
Cool.
shepherds. They're good dogs. I've had a couple in my life. We had one. Turned out it was deaf because they do too much inbreeding. Some of these places, and so it became a
That's
house
Australia.
dog. It became a house pet rather than it was supposed to be helping us with our cattle because we did raise Black Angus. I grew up on a ranch, but yeah. My dad used to say, "No, I taught her." I'm from East Texas. This is what he sounded like. "No, I taught her sign language," and he would clap and point, and then it would go. I'm like, I don't think the clapping really. I don't know if this equals sign language.
Well, unless the dog feels the vibrations, right?
Yeah,
Feel the vibration.
East Texas, or as I like
Like
to call it,
Beethoven.
Louisiana.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's a little swampy. Did my grandmother neighbor have an alligator in their pond? We always thought so. Never proven false.
Tigers, baby.
Well, now, like, serious question, dude. Deaf dogs bark.
Dude,
Do they bark?
I had this joke. I had what would a deaf dog sound like if it barked? I went, hold on, man. I had to look. I was like, burp. It's funnier in text.
It's like how deaf people can technically speak, but it's just
Yeah.
like unintelligible.
Oh, like the one that sung "I Will Always Love You." Remember that?
Yeah, no.
I will
It was
always
some
love
foreign,
you.
some foreign company. She was deaf. I think she's a transgender person as well.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, you remember it now?
That's PTSD.
We were all supposed to clap.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. I think I remember that.
yeah. The transgender chick trying to sing Whitney Houston, and everything just went wrong.
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
one.
Yeah. Shout out to Bobby Brown.
That's the dude, though. I respect Bobby Brown.
Yep.
I'm pulling for you, Bobby.
Oh, what's wrong with Bobby?
Well, I
he
mean,
had a hard life. Let's just put it that way.
he
Bobby
like
Brown?
lost 2 children, Whitney, of course, and drug problems and stuff. But he still gets out there with New Edition, man. I give him props.
New Edition they're still doing things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember them in that Mr. T after school special. Because came out of nowhere. You're like, what's happening? Mr. T does that song. Miss for mom. None of this making sense. And he also learned how to break dance.
Yeah, I wish I was in control of the things. So
they put him through a lot of indignity back then. I remember that. Yep.
Mr. T would do anything for a check. But anything but getting on a plane. Nailed it.
I ain't getting on a plane. Hannibal.
The Mandalorian fans, Pedro Pascal, warned he'll be replaced after this season. I mean, okay.
Oh,
well, yeah. Just leave the helmet on. Nobody's gonna know.
Like, sucks to suck.
Oh, are y'all watching The Last of Us?
No.
I saw one episode, and that was
Yeah. I mean, look, I played the first game. I think I even owned the first game for a short period of time. I liked it, but everything after that first game has been an absolute dumpster fire.
Absolutely. Yeah. However, I'm actually enjoying the show. This last episode was really good. Really good.
They're on right now.
I'm a big fan of early Walking Dead. Since it's kind of like the same type of genre thing, how is it holding up as far as that's concerned? Is it something that's going to pull you in? Are the characters good?
Yeah, I think so. They pulled me in. This last, I watched it last night without a girlfriend. So when I left to go to the store, she was still watching it, and I got back and she was in tears because of the ending. They introduced a couple of characters this last one, and I mean, instantly I was rooting for them. You know, but I mean, for me, other than the third episode, whenever they were like, we're going to stop telling you this story and tell you an entirely different story about a gay couple that has nothing to do with anything else. Yeah. Other than that, I've enjoyed it.
But for the game players, were the gay couple in the game? I've heard they were, so I don't know.
They were. It's just in the show, though, it was an entirely different context than in the game. And in the game, they basically hated each other like any couple. But in the show, they're like, no. There's no other couple that comes to the perfectness than a gay couple.
Right.
Yeah.
They lived beautifully. They died beautifully.
Yeah, that's if you guys haven't seen the movie Knock at the Cabin, that new M. Night Shyamalan movie, it's pretty much the same thing there. It's not good. But because essentially what M. Night tries to do is that he tries to tell a biblical story without any of the faith elements whatsoever. And the concept is that this gay couple and their adopted Asian daughter, one of them has to decide to kill the other one to save the world from the apocalypse. And I guess they were chosen because their love is so pure or some nonsense like that. And then, it gets to this whole point where like Dave Bautista's like a 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. It's just a bunch of nonsense.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I'll watch it when it comes out. Hey, Wilton.
What's
up, Wilton?
It's a little bit of a different thing for me now that I'm here. Also, Floral's hand was getting hard, stiff.
Hey, by the way, I saw your commercial when you pushed Culture Casino off of that rooftop. I was just thinking to myself, yeah, that's terrible acting by Culture there. I mean, it sucks that you have to put up with that. But,
I know. However, do you guys want to know a fun story about that?
Mm-hmm.
He actually got hurt doing that.
I believe
when he falls, he actually tried leaning on a green screen thing, and he fell. And so the video of him falling into the dumpster is actually him really falling and bailing.
Oh my god, that's awesome!
It was wonderful. So yeah,
if anybody deserves to fall more, I don't know. At Culture, I think he deserves to fall.
Yeah, if anyone deserves lower hit pain, it's probably Culture.
Those are some magnificent fangs, I must say. You could pick your nose with your fangs. Look at that, man.
Well, it's what happens when you work out. So,
yeah,
for your people, yeah.
Yeah, what do you mean, you people?
But I mean, obviously.
Whoa, buddy.
What's the correct term? What's the correct term?
Act on bigotry and just all. You go make that comment, really, dude.
I know, right? Gosh,
what do I
sensitive jerk?
All I'm saying is my genetics are different than your genetics. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that.
You're superior to him now.
I'm not saying I'm superior. We're just different. Okay.
Like an IQ from China.
You're gonna.
Maybe we should stay separate but equal. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, bigot.
What was up, Mark?
Nothing. I'm not repeating it, bro.
You're anti-Popeye, aren't you?
Popeye? I've never had a problem with Popeye.
Anti-Popeye.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Absolutely. Yeah.
So anyway, what we were trying to say here before we were rudely interrupted is that The Last of Us is anti-Semitic and you shouldn't play the video game.
Yeah. Well, now we're talking about Pedro Pascal is going to be leaving, and I'm very excited about that. So, what exactly is there a guarantee here, or is he promising?
I don't know, man. I didn't read this. Dude, Jimmy asked Pedro could spill anything. Blah blah blah. A lot of them big epic battle. Plural, maybe. What? Anyway, let's see. He assured that Baby Yoda is in the next season. Still learning season. Blah blah blah. Okay, cool. Oh my God, this really? Their technology. So
wait, do they have him posing in that picture? I mean, it's probably not Pedro, but
how do you feel about your representation on the screen?
Me?
Yeah, I mean, with Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda's not a Muppet.
He's an alien. I'm a troll. So like.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, okay.
So now you're trying to say they all look alike now, right?
Yes.
Just keeps getting worse. Just keeps getting worse.
Well, look, I know that there's differences, between the two.
Like what? I got teeth. He doesn't. Actually, he does have teeth. So like, I got ears. He's got ears.
Maybe. Look, I'm not saying that you all look alike.
Just goes around saying that Japanese people and Koreans look alike too, huh?
Okay.
You're that guy.
All right, listen. I'm not going to talk about that at all. I was about to say something, but hear me out here.
It's not your channel.
We
can go wherever we want.
So let me tell you about the Japanese.
Make a case for your racism.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about the Japanese and what my problem with them. No, but seriously though, I do think I suffer from puppet face blindness. It's not that you all look alike. It's because I really can't see the difference. Sometimes.
Wow.
Seriously, I look like Gonzo?
Well, I mean, no, you're different colors, but if
Floral,
you squint,
like a green frig on the rug, and you got me.
I'll be honest. Yeah.
My.
I wonder what Scott would think if he realized he gave up his control to his show to a complete bigot.
Right. I mean, Scott is a bigot, but
true, but in a different way. Yeah. We're all bigots, but in our own way.
Dunkin' Donuts is a little bit different.
I love being a bigot.
Oh boy, there's some comments that I cannot highlight. This is pretty true. Have you ever been mistaken for Kermit? Not like because you're not the same color. I get it, but has anyone been like, "Oh my God, Kermit, what happened to you? It looks like you fell in a barrel of
vat of toxic waste and got superpowers."
Toxic waste. Yeah,
happened once, and then I slapped them.
Oh well, you went easy on him, I guess.
Well, I called him mentally deficient, but not in those words. French for late.
Do you have a underbite? They say that's a sign of
great intelligence. That's right. Yep.
I don't know. I just thought it was convenient for like eating.
For eating? Is it? Would that be convenient for eating?
Yeah, it depends on what you're eating. If you have like a big bowl of ice cream, you can just like and it's all good.
Oh, that's not how you eat ice cream from a bowl at all.
Depends how big your bowl is.
Well, why aren't you using a spoon?
Who said anything about spoons?
That's how I eat ice cream in a. I feel bad because I don't have my camera on because I didn't get everything ready.
Are you judging the way that I eat ice cream?
Look, we all eat ice cream in our own way. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
No. I feel like you're like trying to like be more bigoted again.
But no, I think it does say something about you as a person.
What if I have a waffles? Obviously, are you gonna like come after me for that?
Wait, what?
Waffles, ice cream and waffles.
No, you don't do that. Is that a thing? Is that like your culture?
Absolutely a thing.
Is that something like in your culture that you grew up with?
Chat, back me up.
Matt comes off as the type of guy who would have a problem with a puppet dating his daughter. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, he would.
I just have concerns of the mechanics behind how that would work. I mean, what am I going to get? I'm going to get
I think you need to go further in this. Let's follow this train of thought.
Oh, you think I won't?
It's not your channel, so I don't care.
But no, Jacob, how are your feelings on Puppet?
On Puppet interspecies erotica, is that what
you're saying? Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Keep it in your own bedroom. Why are you trying to get me in there?
Whoa, there you go. There you go.
Now you're trying to get other people involved in your kinks. It's like, what show are we running here?
I mean, Tom and Melinda Hurd. You got to heard of Melinda Hurd, right?
Yeah.
Tom Connors from.
Tom? Yeah.
He was with Melinda Hurd. She's the other Hurd sister, the other dumb cow. And
yes, I am familiar.
She also crap in bed.
So, yes, and eats in the same place as he craps because, well, she's a cow. So
it seems to be a genetic trend with those women. It's kind of weird.
I know it's weird. It's really weird. But Tom, he's into cows. So like, I mean, like interspecies things. It's year 2023. You can't be judging.
No, you can, and I think in some cases you're correct to judge.
It's all right. There's plenty of people out there who have hands up their asses. You can't judge people, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's just
the only way you need to know is just cough. So.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick.
And that's it for the Mandalorian talk.
Mark knows what it's like. Anyway, yeah. So Baby Yoda, he's there.
Real quick, I was looking.
My safe word is, why is there blood in my hands?
Oh God, no.
Mine's buttercups. I guess is a little different. I was looking at Mark's Spider-Man hat. I was on a stream with Rod Laurie, the director of The Outpost, Last Castle, the other day, and before we started, he had this hat on with just NFL and like the NFL shield, and I went, what, that's a very non-committal hat you got on there, Rod. And he goes, what? I'm like, yeah, it's just the NFL. Like, oh, I like football, but I'm not ready to settle down with just one team. I have trust issues. Baseball really messed me up.
Speaking of football, does anyone care about tomorrow's Super Bowl?
I shamed him into taking the hat off.
Yeah.
I cheer for the refs. I take the Urkel principle.
I'm rooting for the over. That's what I'm rooting for.
As a Cowboys fan, I hate the Eagles.
Yeah, I think
I'm hoping Rihanna has a wardrobe malfunction. That's what I'm in it for.
Nah.
Yeah. She's doing a halftime show. Shake your little. Where's she from again?
Barbados or something like that.
How old is she?
Ass.
Like that's how old is she now?
Who, Rihanna?
She's of age.
35, maybe.
Yeah, she's up in her 30s by now.
Yeah, friggin' no spring chicken. That's for sure.
I wonder if she's gonna do a satanic Illuminati ritual during the Super Bowl this week. That seems to be the
totally
trend now,
will.
right?
Totally will. Absolutely. She's one of them too. Yeah.
Stephen,
be careful watching with your children.
Flames.
Yeah. I just want to know, and God damn it, here I go starting trouble again.
Do it.
Why are they singing the so-called Black National Anthem? What is it? They're singing it before,
you see what happened is that the regular national anthem is not inclusive enough, so we have to have a national anthem specifically for Black people. So that
do you know the words? Do you guys know it?
Of what, the Black National Anthem or? No.
I didn't expect you.
Oh, I always thought it was Two Cops Can't See Me, so I've kind of been shocked to figure out there was another song.
Yeah.
So you think you don't know?
I'm ashamed to say that I never did learn that one.
Okay.
And it's just weird to me because this is one of those things. Like, it's the Super Bowl, so everybody is coming together. Mm-hmm. It's not a matter of being ashamed of it or anything like that. I'm just wondering why. Is it because it's Black History Month? Is that maybe?
I think
they've been doing it for years before.
Yeah, they've been doing it before all the games.
Yeah, I think it's good that you guys are embracing your whiteness.
Not me.
So we got white, we got yellow.
Floral
we don't got those green bastards around here anymore.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah, see, Sonora Baptiste, you see where I'm coming from with this. It's like, if you go down that road, like, America is a melting pot. The game is never going to start if everybody represents their culture through song. Now it's time for the Yugoslavian American anthem.
Okay, well, yeah, but that one slaps though. That's a bad example.
I mean, the Russian national anthem kind of slaps too.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Everybody gets represented. Please stand for the Chinese balloon. You know what I mean?
Hey,
don't you mean the aliens that are now popping up all over the place?
So this is what's really funny. Okay, so in Sarnia, Ontario, it's like right on the border, and so the U.S. put up a balloon, and so they said it was for weather, but clearly it was actually to watch the border, and so there was this whole thing, moon the balloon. So literally, like hundreds of people got onto the river, and like mooned at the balloon. Not even kidding. Just hundreds of people dropping their pants for this balloon.
Take that, government.
Power to the people.
Right. Right.
Take that, government.
Yep. So
I'll be honest, I kept thinking that the balloon was gonna be shot down by some redneck, but I was like, oh no, they didn't even come close to Florida, because Florida would have shot that shit down.
Yeah, no, you can own tanks in Florida. They don't play around over there.
Well, what worries me is when they shot it, did anyone else notice the shit that came out? Like what got put out into the atmosphere when they shot it?
It was hydrogen, all that stuff.
Don't worry about that. The CIA is putting way worse in the air than whatever's in that balloon.
Oh, here we go. I don't know if we can see that. I was about to say something, but no, aliens though, for real.
Yes,
I'm with you on that one.
Say it.
No, I like Scott. Scott's a friend. I wouldn't be doing this
if he was really a friend. He'd be here. I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is that a couple of Chinese spy planes just start popping up in a couple of countries. Now all of a sudden, oh my God, guys, there's aliens. It's like, yeah, okay.
Well, listen, no, we've been trying to talk about aliens for a long time. Y'all just now listening, all right? Ever since we signed the 1944 Greada Treaty, we've been miserable. 1954 Greada Treaty. It's been, you know what I mean? We're allowing these Greys to live in bunkers and shit that we build for them, and we allow them to take our people to do experiments on, and we barely get anything back in return.
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Your next trip to the doctor is gonna be nicer.
We usually get the bad end of the deal, so I'm not surprised.
Right? Yeah.
I can see stuff like that happening though. You ever fall asleep and you wake up in the morning, you just feel like, I don't know, you've been somewhere, somebody done something to you, violated you. I don't know. Maybe
right.
That just hurts for no reason.
That was prison, I'm telling you.
Legit. Right now, I woke up today and I am sore. I'm like, my God, why am I so sore, dude? I'm like, arm and shit. Yeah.
I think I saw an X-Files episode about something like that. I think there's something to that when you just wake up and feel fucked up for no reason.
I think so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And oh man, it was a made for TV movie when I was maybe 8. I guess I watched. I don't remember, but the dentist or somebody found something in one of the adoptees.
Which one?
It was like a transmitter thing. I don't know what the movie was, but it was based on a true story. Fire in the Sky. If you can get through it being a little slow the first 2 acts, holy shit! It's probably one of the best depictions of an alien abduction.
Soul Assassin says it's called Mirage.
That's scary, man.
Maybe.
Is that the movie?
No, I don't think Soul Assassin would know the random 80s made-for-TV movie based on a real thing.
You never know. It's the internet, man. You never know.
Oh, am I talking about the sci-fi show Taken? That doesn't feel right. Anyway, but have y'all seen Fire in the Sky?
Spencer in the chat says a Chinese invasion. I was like, yeah, I always knew his people will eventually take over our world.
But do y'all believe in aliens though, for real? Oh, of course, everybody believes in aliens. It's too big for there not to be other things, but that they have at least been here.
Yeah. I think
if you mean like they're among us, yes, I do. I think they're among us. I do.
I'm convinced that if there's aliens, they're just animals, not people. If things, no humanoids, nothing like that.
Wait, like that movie, that Jordan Peele movie, the last one he did.
Nope.
Did nobody see that?
Oh yeah, nope. Yeah, no, I did see that movie. That movie sucked.
Yeah, the ship that I kind of liked it. The ship that they were looking at or whatever. And spoilers for that movie, but it's an actual thing. It's a sentient being.
It's a giant alien popped weather balloon that eats people.
Yeah, basically.
What's that movie from the 80s or 90s? Where the guy's like, right, that one. The robot that talks. And the spaceship is alive. You know what I'm talking about? We got like the eye to think the eye. What's it called? It's like on the tip of my tongue. Friggin'
Who was in it?
Yeah.
A kid.
Oh, is a kid in a robot movie?
Yeah, kid, spaceship alien robot thing.
Wait, are you talking about Johnny Five?
No. That's Short Circuit. Same era. He talks like Marvin the Martian. Like, hello everyone.
That makes me so angry.
What's that friend called? They like me. I think they were gonna make a reboot of it, or they did.
No, we're just gonna watch you die on the vine on this one.
Oh yeah, man. I wish I could help. I don't know. Let's see.
How long ago was it out?
Like 80s or 90s, like early 90s.
Okay, so somewhere in this 20-year span. Okay, got it.
Like, no,
Star Kid?
No. Jeez. It's like right there. Anyway,
Moral of the story, kids, is don't do drugs. You'll melt your brain.
Yes. Do what?
I'm gonna disagree with what you just said a little bit. Some kids need to be medicated. We all seen them.
No. Some people need to be institutionalized. That doesn't mean they need to be drugged up.
That's true too. Yeah.
QAnon is real.
Yep.
Okay, we'll move on. That was it for what Scott gave me. So if you guys have anything, this would be great.
I might be able to, save this show single-handedly.
Thank you.
So
Well, I wasn't expecting to be on here. I wasn't prepared.
Yeah, it shows.
Well, yeah, I would never deny not being prepared. Are you denying my preparedness?
Did I just did that? Isn't that what I just said? No? I mean, I thought I made that point pretty clear.
I'll be honest. I was just talking so there wasn't dead air as I scrolled through something, so I really wasn't even listening, nor was I thinking about what I was saying.
Flight of the Navigator. Well, that's what it's called.
Flight of the Navigator?
Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Wow.
So I actually got a story here. Maybe we can go ahead and close off with this one.
Oh, perfect.
I'm pretty sure you guys are well aware of this little thing called the Marvel Cinematic Universe by now, right?
Yeah.
Is that still going?
soap opera that's just been going on for like 15 years now. Well, we're at phase 5 of the MCU, so it's kicking off with Ant-Man this week, so that'll be the next big movie everyone is in love with. But here, there's a TV show on Disney Plus that's coming out this year that not too many people are aware of, but you probably should be, because it's going to be very talked about when it does. And it may be the MCU's first attempt of grooming your kids into LGBT culture. So Ironheart, if for you guys who don't know, is the black female equivalent of Iron Man, who everyone loved in the comic books, and by love I mean hate. And she's getting her own show. It's like a 6-episode series that they're putting a whole bunch of people in. And the casting of the show suggested that this show is going to be very LGBTQ eccentric. Let's just put it that way. In the comics in the past, they've made emphasis to the fact that, Ironheart may or may not be bisexual. So that's probably a thing. You also have drag queens that are scheduled to be on the show. You also have your first trans man actress, quote unquote, is also in the show. And I say quote unquote because she technically refers to herself as a non-binary trans masculine person, which I don't know what the hell that means. That just sounds like some made up baloney to me. But yeah, they're going all in on this show. Just a couple things that I pointed out here is that if you listen to obviously the people who are talking about their not so subtle gay agenda when we're talking to the Proud Family series, there's also another woman behind the scenes who's Sarah Kate Ellis, the woman behind GLAAD, who's pretty much the main LGBTQ lobby in Hollywood that's pushing for all these representation in these shows. And I want to hit you a little a quote that she has here from last year's GLAAD Award. She says that Hollywood must take meaningful action and will soon convene the biggest brands, agencies, and studios and streamers together to commit to improving the quality, diversity of LGBTQ images, especially in kids and family programming, she stated. So this is the head of GLAAD, who's a lesbian herself, shocker, who is pushing this. And then this comes off of the World Economic Forum that just recently said this as well. They said diverse and inclusive gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender stories in media. She goes on to say that with all of the new new challenges facing in the community, especially attacks against trans youth, quote unquote, it is cultural institutions like television that take on a critical role in changing the hearts and minds of people. What people hear and see in media impacts the decisions that we make in schools, offices, living rooms, courtrooms, and the ballot box. So you have all of these powerful mega corporations all around the world saying that we have to increase the amount of LGBTQ stuff, specifically in kids' films, because they're telling you themselves that they believe that they're influencing people's minds and influencing culture by doing so. But then they'll try to turn around and tell you, hey, no one's grooming your kids, no one has any agenda for your children, but this is exactly what they're doing right in everyone else's face.
The line that hit me was we have to change the hearts and minds. I'm like, that sounds a lot like a war.
Yeah, it almost sounds like wartime propaganda.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's funny though that like earlier you had mentioned that about like the Christians and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's where this is going. They called it. They did.
They kind of did. Yeah.
Like I said, I think we got to a point where people are still they're coping with the fact that we may have to admit that those slippery slope people may have had a point.
Yeah,
that we didn't listen to all those decades ago. That's biting us in the ass now.
Dude, that's. By the way, I saw it. It's been a while, but GLAAD put out the percentage of representation that that the LGBT etc. has in media or whatever. And it's compared to the percentage of the population that identifies as part of the community, it's shocking how much more they are represented than they actually, because they always talk about like the shows need to reflect what we see.
Yeah. Well, you have to understand it because our good buddy on our panel, Rick Aragon, asks this question all the time. And this thing you have to remember is that when you hear the word representation, that's pretty much their like PR, like political spin about what they're doing. So in their minds, they're trying to get you to think that, oh no, we're just doing this for representation's sake. Well, looking at the numbers, you guys are severely overrepresented in media and television shows and movies. So what's the real deal here? And I think to a point, it's not the fact that they're such a small part of the community. You have to look at who's behind the studios, who's behind these organizations, who's behind all of these activist groups, and they control a large position of those groups. If you look at GLAAD, if you look at the MCU, Victoria Alonso, who's also a lesbian, who I think is kind of what the executive producer now of the overwhelming majority of these projects. It's like, it's not that, the world population has this big percentage of LGBTQ people. It's just the large percentage of them that are producers and directors and writers of all of these projects. That's why you're seeing so much of it at such a large pace that you're seeing now.
So here's a question. Did you guys see that? I'm assuming you did, but the fight or argument that Eric July had with that random dude?
I heard the random dude
with
squealing, but
Organized Chaos.
I don't know who it is. I didn't care. But
there was a couple.
Did he talk like this?
Yes, yeah. So that one that just happened. So the thing is, like, the guy was saying that, like, because Eric was talking about the whole gay agenda with Disney, and the guy's like, it's just some random employee at Disney that makes mention of something being gay. Like, it's just way bigger. It's like they're influencing everything. So like nothing.
And you know what they're not talking about too? They're not talking about the rising amount of kids, young adults, who are regretting embracing a trans lifestyle. You know, especially the ones who have been reassigned.
They get ostracized from the community immediately because they know that would reflect bad on them as a whole. So whenever anyone, the detransitioners, whenever they start to speak, they're like, well, that's just that one guy and he's an idiot because he doesn't think orcs are black coated or whatever. They'll use something else to deflect. Like Cubans, Cubans aren't really Hispanic. They're basically white adjacent in Florida because because of Trump. They do this all the time. Yeah.
They'll find some kind of slant or spin to work their narrative in. But when people try to say, oh, no, it's just one employee at Disney. No, one employee at Disney would be like the janitor who supports this agenda, right? That's one employee at Disney. These two people who I have here, one is obviously the executive producer of Disney's animated division, who's in charge of like Proud Family and other shows that Disney producing. And here's another one, president of Disney General Entertainment, Carrie Blurt. who, when she was doing that interview, what was it, last year, talked about how she has a transgender and pansexual child. Now, here's her quote here. She says, as a mother of, I'm here as a mother of 2 queer children, actually, 1 transgender child and 1 pansexual child. Yeah. And as a leader, the one thing that I think of that really got me is I've heard so much from my colleagues, which means other people in the inner circle of Disney, over the course of the last couple of weeks in an open forum through emails and phone conversations. I feel like I have a responsibility to speak not just for myself, but for them. So that's not just a couple of employees, quote unquote, behind the scenes. Those are the people that are completely running this entire show. And by the way, transgender and pansexual kids, I don't know how you come to the conclusion that your child is pansexual, but this idea that they're trying to normalize, try to get you to buy into, that kids who are like 3 years old, who can't even read or write, can all of a sudden decide, hey, mommy, I'm a girl now. It's like, oh yeah, you're transgender now. Like, these are the people who they're trying to quote unquote protect, as if they have no nefarious agenda behind the scenes.
That's the disgusting thing about it, because they're underage, they're minors, they haven't reached an age of consent. That is a thing. You know, so when you're trying to reassign a child, when you're trying to identify a child who we all know is still developing, you know, a child will say many things. I want to be a firefighter, I want to be a drummer, or something like that. You don't just say you're going to be a drummer. Yeah. You know, you just don't say, well, that's it. That's what you're going to be. I'm going to put everything into making sure that you're that. No, you give that child room to grow and to know who they are and to think, you know, but they're destroying these children's lives. I just sent on, you know, my recent video. This has got to be the age of like the most apparent, what is it? What did I call it? Child sacrifice ritual that history has ever seen. If you're not putting something in their arms that's going to fuck them, well, I don't want to get into all that, but they just won't leave the kids alone, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, everything is about taking these kids and twisting them up and confusing the hell out of their parents, so we don't know how to defend them anymore. We're giving them over to this system. And like I said, the future generations are going to be terrible for what we're allowing to happen now.
Yeah, if you think millennials and Gen Z are bad, wait until these kids grow up in 20, 25 years.
If any generation has ever needed a reboot, it's going to be this current one. I mean, someone needs to go in and unplug their modem for 5 seconds and then plug it back in, because they're fucking it up. They're fucking shit up.
So we can't even say that men are men and women are women. When are we going to stop this insanity?
So here's the thing: like, the people who are pushing this, they're not going to stop. So it's up to us to say, okay, when or where are we drawing the line here? Because these people aren't going to stop. They're going to double down and triple down, especially with Pride Month coming only a few months away. You think that the stuff that they're putting in kids programming is bad now? Wait until May and June to see what they're really coming out with.
Wilton, go ahead.
Well, so what's the actual solution? So, like, yeah, you have to stop it, but how do we do it? That's the question, right?
I think Matt Walsh is a good example with the work that he's doing with the Tennessee government there to ban surgeries on anyone under the age of 25, and that's very specific because, you know, the brain isn't done developing until you're already 25. And I don't know if you saw the clip of when the whole age of consent thing came up with him and the politician. It's fucking awesome. Yeah. But yeah, that and if you look at DeSantis, what he's doing in Florida with some of the things that he's been able to pass, there is things that are actually moving in the right direction now.
Yeah,
rather than just people griping about it.
In a much less dramatic sense, men, be men in your homes. You know what I mean? It's like this is what I'm talking about. It's like, you know, you can't make women think the way that we think, but a lot of us men, you know, just speaking as a man, we know what's right and wrong here. You know what I mean? You don't want to raise your son to be taking it up the ass from somebody else. You know what I mean? You just, like, it's wrong. It's wrong. That's not what you want to raise them to do. You want to show them that, yes, I unconditionally love you and everything, but these are my expectations of you. I am raising a man. You know, I'm not raising somebody who's going to walk around saying you will identify me as a woman. I identify as a woman. You're not doing that. There's nothing wrong with taking that stand in your home.
And no stop being in house husbands too, because you look weak. The other day I had to take my girlfriend to work or whatever, and I got back and I was about to start cleaning up. I'm like, wait a minute, she ain't trapping me like this. And I went and grabbed all the covers off the bed just so she'd have make it again when she got home. Got to take a stand, man.
Yeah.
Got to take a
Do
stand.
it, man. Do it.
Well, look,
about.
I can
That's a
obviously
great
tell
man.
you what we should be doing to stop all of this, but of course, I will be thrown off of YouTube for life and all of social media by giving you that answer. So I'm gonna give you this answer. These people
you're
thrive.
on Scott's channel, so you're okay.
Oh yeah, Scott Channel. No one cares about Scott Channel, but no. Look, these people thrive on broken families, which is why you're seeing an agenda being pushed out here to break up the quote unquote traditional families, which is essentially mother, father, married, raising kids. They're trying to break that up as much as possible because if they can get your kids in a broken home, then they're more susceptible to let's just say the lifestyle that they're trying to promote onto your children. So you have to live with the mindset that I have to protect my child at all times 24/7 because it's not just the predators that can touch them that you have to worry about now. It's even the ones that are outside that you have to worry about as well.
Well, I think that's a good spot to. Oh, Wilton, you got one last thing before we end it?
Yeah. I was gonna say, the big thing is it's not just protecting; it's giving purpose, right? So give your kids purpose. Help them to know that they can have an influence, make a change. They can do things, right? Like there's more to life than them and their happiness. There's so much more, and that's why, like as Mark was saying, like it's like that's part of what it means to be a man, right? Like you're there for your family. You're not just doing things. You're not trying to be happy. You're gonna eat that can of beans while your kid has a steak. Like it's that kind of idea. You want to live for them and build them up and build up those around you and encourage and support and do that kind of thing. So
and another thing, just real quick, teach your kids accountability and responsibility because that seems to be the two things that where we look at where we're going as a society right now. The two things that seem to be missing in our society more now than ever is accountability and responsibility for one's actions.
Damn, Skippy.
Yep.
You know what I see myself as a man, protecting my son and everything. I am Boromir in The Lord of the Rings when he's taking those arrows to protect those little hobbits and everything. I'm going to stand on my feet as long as I can. I'll take every arrow before he takes one. You know what I mean? And that's what's going on out here in the world. These arrows just keep on coming for our kids. We don't get to just stand by and play and act like this isn't happening and just do what we want to do. Mm-hmm. There is an open war and attack on our families, right? And this is what we have to do. We have to shield them. We have to take it so that they don't have to. You know what I mean? Yep. That's the way I see it, bro.
And with that, we'll go ahead and close it. Wilton the Troll, do you or Flora, did Flora leave notes for you? Anything you need to
I can make
promote?
something up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no. So every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we got our show Under a Rock, and so check us out. We're getting we're almost at the mediocrity level of 500 subs. So if you want to help us out to be mediocre, that would be great.
Oh, for sure.
And, yeah. We're gonna make a song all about mediocrity, like a parody. So that's gonna be good. And then so Sporking, he was supposed to be on the show on Wednesday this week, but then because of him being him, he wasn't. So we made this whole show that was dedicated to a theme to him. So there's like a bunch of things like memory loss, life lesson that's gonna be coming out tomorrow. That's all about memory loss. So so things like that. Punkwaddle, the penguin, he has a sporking fork utensil ponderance. So anyway, we just really want to rub that in his face. So be like, wow, Sporking, you suck. That'd be really good.
I'll help you get that in his face so he can see it for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah. I have access to his all of his StreamYard shit now. We'll take care of this. We'll make this a thing.
Nice.
But Jacob, Mark, y'all got anything?
Well, I got a bunch of 1 minute reviews coming up on my channel. So Society Reviews on YouTube. You can catch me on Twitter and Twitch as well. I'm abounding in the comics. Jacob Smith, you can guys see my articles there. And I also have my own site, Society Reviews, where I'm doing a bunch of movie reviews. And then that's pretty much all I got left. This Monday, we're going to be reviewing Magic Mike 3. And we're also going to be reviewing Shane Black's The Nice Guys as well. So that's what I got coming up.
The Nice Guys? Love that movie. I'm a big fan of Shane Black. I think Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. man,
Yeah,
whatever.
well, my good buddy Rob Morrow, who's also on the show, who reviews movies, he hates that movie, so that's why we're doing the review on that one as well. Oh, by the way, Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m., I do the Ballroom podcast with my good buddies. Last week we had our good buddy Pete. I keep pronouncing his last name wrong, Pitsky, but he's the guy who did the recent interview with Frost from G4, kind of the exit interview of the whole fallout of everything that happened with her. So definitely check that one out as well.
Mark.
Absolutely. I'm just doing my thing, man, getting ready to offend pretty much everybody since I got a hard time in my comment section on my last couple of videos.
Nice.
People don't realize that really energizes me. You know what I mean? Because I got a lot inside of me, just like all of us. We're all men of conscience here, and troll, of course. And you know, when you push back, man, it's just gonna go crazy. But also you know, I rock with the Dark Council every other Wednesday. So it's not this Wednesday coming up. It's the Wednesday after that. And we're going to break down a lot of what you guys were talking about, what's going on out here. And basically, that's it, man. Just raising a lot of hell. So stay tuned. Absolutely.
Yep. Well, and for me, I'm going to be having a new Movies with Matt coming out soon. I got a couple things I got to edit. We did a sleepaway camp last time. Oh, man, that's probably the best reveal since Crying Game. So check that out. And I guess that's it for me. So as we always say here at Sporking News Podcast, if you can't be savory, be delicious. I don't know what outro he wants me to play. I'm just going to end it.
We didn't play an intro, so we might as well not play
You know what?
Too,
Want to keep it consistent.